Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today. Pardon my attire and lack of makeup. I am very tired. So this is going to be a nice and easy, very chill, laid back video. I'm a bit under the weather and also my throat's really sore. So yeah, this is going to be just very cozy. Gonna get my feet up on the chair. Also Molly is here, so if you hear any noises in the background, it's just my boyfriend's dog and she is gorgeous. Today I am going to review another menstrual cup, and I've sort of made it a series where I review and talk about different menstrual cups and different alternatives to disposable period products. Oh no, ooh, sneezing. Today we're going to talk about the LEONA menstrual cup, and that's called Airflow, which supposedly is new and very neat. And I'm excited to talk about this. I'm generally just excited to see more and more non-disposable period products because we so do need those. So if we're going to talk about packaging for the first part, without talking about the product itself, but just the packaging, it seems to me that the LEONA Airflow cup is not as environmentally conscious of brand than, for instance, Organic Cup is, because their products came in a little canvas bag and in cardboard, and that was it. And this seems to be targeted at another kind of demographic. They put a lot of thought into a lot of packaging, and that's just my case. I'm not a fan of overly complicated packaging. This, however, if we're going to say something positive about an excessive amount of packaging, is that this seems like it's a box that you keep. This is not a box you throw away. So yeah, it has a little magnet, so it stays closed, and then you open it and there's a little guide here. And it's a lot of packaging where you could just, yeah, as I said, have used a canvas bag in a little paper bag and that would be it. But it seems like their demographic is another kind of person. However, I would still like to say that I would love to see more environmental friendly packaging, even from companies that do not brand themselves as being environmental friendly. So that's just where we are. But yeah, it seems that the packaging is something you're supposed to keep. So that is that. So you open it up and you get the little guide, and then you get the cup. And here again, packaging wise, is where they sort of lost me just a little bit, I'm afraid, because then there is this inserted, I can't really get it out. Yes, this inserted plastic, like, you know, little mold that it stays in. And I see where they are going with this, but I also just think that this is a little bit unnecessary, because like a menstrual cup doesn't break. So it doesn't really seem that necessary. So now let's not talk about the packaging, let's talk about the product itself. I also have one here, so let's talk about this one. This is unused, if there would be a trigger for anyone, and if it's a trigger, then why did you click on menstrual cup video, I'm just saying. But packaging aside, because now I told you my own opinion about the packaging, let's talk about the menstrual cup that has a hair on it. I haven't used this. This is actually the model, the B model for women that has given birth. So it's a little bit bigger, so don't be scared by that. The other one is a little bit smaller, and I can show you in comparison. Don't worry, I washed it. So yeah, here we are in comparison to the two sizes. So let's talk about the menstrual cup for a second. The first thing that I noticed about this menstrual cup is that the edge around it is way thicker than the ones I'm used to. That's the first thing for me that I realized. Oh, this is bigger. This is a little bit bigger. And generally the material, this is 100% silicone, as most menstrual cups are. The silicone is a little bit harder. It's not as flexible as some other menstrual cups might tend to be. I don't really think that's a problem, because for me, I really like it. Actually, I feel more secure when I know that there is a sturdy material. And also when you fold it, I use a simple C fold. It looks like this. So when I fold it and it unfolds, I feel more safe because I feel like it's a sturdy material. So I actually quite like that. I have menstrual cups that are very dainty in the edge and in the material in general that you can sort of feel it extremely easily, feel it bending because it's so flexible. So this is a little bit harder, and I would perhaps say that if you're an experienced menstrual cup user, that is a plus, but it can maybe be a little bit intimidating if you haven't tried a menstrual cup yet. I'm just speaking out of speculation and personal experience, but also, and that is always an important thing, on menstrual cups there are small air holes on each side of the top that will help make them seal completely shut due to pressure. And then on these, and this is something that I haven't quite seen before, there are these air valves on each side with tiny holes in it, and there aren't holes that will make it leak in any sort of way, but it will also, I presume, help with keeping everything in place because of the pressure that, you know, from the outside pressures and stays. What I do feel is funny about these small valves though is that there is the possibility of having some blood stick inside of this, and I tried to get it out of mine, but now there's just water in it instead, and I am trying to see if it will just go away by itself, because I have been rinsing it off quite a lot. Just FYI, whenever you get a new menstrual cup, make sure to read this little flyer that comes with it. Even though you read everything of it before, even though you've read tons of these, I mean, at this point I've used about 4 or 5 different menstrual cups, also from reviews, and this ain't mama's first rodeo, but I read them every time because maybe something's different, and sometimes something is different. LEONA cup, they recommend changing the cup every 2 years, whereas some of the other cups, the other companies, they say you can not leave it, but you can keep one up to 6 years. So there's huge difference there, and I think that's something to take into consideration as well, that the companies recommend different time periods and different lifespans of these products. So yes. She's a YouTube dog. Oh, you're so good. We're going to go for a walk in a sec. So yeah, my review of the LEONA Airflow cup must be this. I personally really like it. I think that the Airflow technology provides an amazing convenient service in a time where it's very inconvenient to deal with air holes and this whole thing. It does make it a bit harder to actually clean when you're finished using it for the day, but I think it's actually not that bad of a trade-off. I also think that it's a quite sturdy material, which I quite like, but I see how some people would maybe be a little bit intimidated by the sturdiness of it. And I would probably recommend that if you're new to menstrual cups, maybe try a softer model and then you can work your way up. Because I actually really like that it's so sturdy in the material, because I feel much safer, but it can feel maybe a little bit intimidating to use, I'm not gonna lie. Usage. And LEONA cup, please reconsider your packaging. It's very unnecessary and we don't want no plastic waste now. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, and also leave me a thumbs up if you perhaps like this series where I talk about menstrual cups and cloth pads and periods. Also, you can leave me a comment, tell me what you thought about this product, tell me what kind of experiences you've had with menstrual cups, I would love to know. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, that would also make my day. And obviously you can find me on all sorts of social media platforms, including Patreon, where you can support me if you want to. And in the spirit of menstrual cups, if you go to my Patreon, you can support me with the $10 or more and receive a menstrual cup lino cup print. These are unique, one of a kind, and I made them myself. I'm very proud about it. You can get one of these, and I have one hanging in my bathroom to empower just me and my periods. Hashtag something with empowerment. I hope to see you guys in my next video, and take really good care of yourselves until next time. Bye!